Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Easy English StoryLab. Today, we will practice English with a story for A2 B1 learners. Listen carefully, pause the video, repeat after me. Try to copy the pronunciation, rhythm, and feeling. This is the shadowing technique. If you enjoy learning English with stories, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, write a comment, and share this video with a friend. Now, let's begin.
My name is Emma. I am 20 years old. I am a college student. I study design and I also study English because many of my books and online materials are in English. I am not very confident when I speak in class. I understand most of the lesson, but when I have to talk, I feel nervous. My heart beats fast, and my hands feel cold. Most days, I sit quietly and hope the teacher does not call my name. One Tuesday morning, something happened that I will never forget. That night before, I went to sleep very late. I was finishing a big project for another class. I worked on my laptop for many hours. When I finally went to bed, it was almost 2 in the morning. When my alarm rang, I felt like my body was very heavy. I opened my eyes, looked at the clock, and jumped out of bed. "I'm late," I said. I dressed quickly and put my hair in a simple ponytail. I did not have time to make breakfast. I only drank some water and ran to catch the bus. On the bus, I felt sleepy. I leaned my head against the window. I watched people walking outside, but my eyes wanted to close. When I reached college, I walked fast to my English class. I arrived just in time. Miss Brown, our English teacher, was already in the classroom. She was about 35 years old, with short black hair and a calm voice. She was kind but serious about work. "Good morning, class," she said. "Good morning," we answered. I sat in my chair and opened my book. My eyes felt heavy and my mind felt slow. "Today we are studying past tense," Miss Brown said. "Please open your books to page 50. I opened the page, but the letters looked strange at first. She explained, "We use past tense to talk about things that already happened." Some students were writing, others were listening carefully. Then she looked around the room. "Emma, can you read the first sentence, please?" My heart started beating fast. I did not expect that. I stood up slowly. My legs felt weak. I read, "Yesterday, I watched a movie with my friend." "Very good," she said. "Now, make your own sentence in past tense." I tried to think. My mind felt like fog. "I studied English last night," I said. "Excellent," she smiled. I sat down again and tried to stay awake. After some minutes, she started talking about homework. "For tomorrow, please write 5 sentences in past tense," she said. I did not hear clearly. My brain felt slow and sleepy. At home, when I don't understand something, I always say, "Mom?" Without thinking, I raised my hand. She looked at me. "Yes, Emma?" And then it happened. "Mom, Can you repeat that? I said. The moment the word left my mouth, I felt something was wrong. The classroom became completely silent. No one moved. No one spoke. I slowly looked up. Miss Brown was staring at me, and my face became hot. For a few seconds, nobody spoke. The classroom felt frozen. I could even hear the sound of the air conditioner. My face felt hot, and my heart was beating fast. Then someone in the back of the class laughed. After that, another student laughed. And then almost the whole class started laughing. I wanted to disappear. Ms. Brown did not laugh loudly. She covered her mouth and tried to stay serious, but I could see a small smile on her face. "Emma," she said gently, "I am your teacher, not your mom." The class laughed again. "I am so sorry," I said quickly. "I didn't mean it. I'm just very sleepy." "It's okay," she said. "It happens." But I still felt very embarrassed. I sat down slowly and looked at my book, but I could not read. I kept thinking, why did I say that? My friend Lily, who sat next to me, leaned closer. "Did you really say Mom?" she whispered. I covered my face with my hands. "Yes." She tried not to laugh. "It was funny, but don't worry." The lesson continued. Ms. Brown explained grammar, but my mind was still on that word, Mom. Every time I remembered it, I felt my face burn again. At the end of the class, students packed their bags. Some of them looked at me and smiled. One boy said, "Bye, Emma. Bye, Mom Brown," and laughed. I smiled a little this time. It sounded silly now. As I walked out, Ms. Brown said, "Emma, can you stay for a minute?" My heart dropped. "Yes, teacher." When everyone left, she looked at me kindly. "Don't worry," she said. "This is not a big problem." "I am very sorry," I said again. She waved her hand. "It was just a mistake. When we are tired, our brain says the wrong words." I looked at her, surprised. "One time," she continued, "I called my boss Dad in a meeting." "Really?" I asked. She laughed. "Yes, I was very embarrassed too." I started laughing. "You see," she said, "if you want to speak English well, you must accept mistakes." Her words stayed in my mind. After I left the classroom, I walked slowly down the hallway. My bag felt heavy on my shoulder, but my head felt even heavier. I kept thinking about what happened. "I called my teacher Mom," I said quietly to myself. At first, I still felt embarrassed. My face felt warm when I remembered the class laughing. I wanted to hide in my room and never speak in class again. But then I remembered Miss Brown's words. If you want to speak English well, you must accept mistakes. Her voice sounded calm in my mind. She did not look angry. She did not make me feel bad. She smiled and told me that she once made a similar mistake. That made me think. Maybe this is not the worst thing in the world, I told myself. At lunch, I sat with Lily and two other friends, Sarah and Nina. They were waiting for me. Lily looked at me and smiled. "Here comes the girl who has two moms." They all laughed. I laughed too, but this time it did not hurt. Very funny, I said. Next time I will call the principal, Mom. They laughed even louder. Sarah said, Don't worry, it was cute, not bad. Cute? I asked. Yes, she said. You were just tired. Everyone understands. We talked about other things after that. The joke slowly disappeared. That evening, I went home and sat at my desk. I opened my notebook and did my English homework. I wrote 5 sentences in past tense. I woke up late. I ran to class. I forgot my breakfast. I called my teacher Mom. I learned something important. When I wrote the last sentence, I stopped. I looked at it and smiled. Yes, I learned something important. 2 days later, I had English class again. Before class, my heart beat fast. I remembered the silence in the room. I remembered the laughter. But I also remembered that nothing terrible happened after. I walked into the classroom and sat down. Miss Brown started the lesson. She talked about future tense. After some time, she asked, Who can give me an example sentence? My heart beat fast. I felt the old fear again. But then I thought, if I stay silent, I will never improve. I slowly raised my hand. Yes, Emma, she said. I stood up. My voice was a little shaky, but I spoke. Tomorrow I will practice English at home, I said. Very good, she smiled. I sat down and felt proud. My mistake did not stop me. I spoke again. From that day, I made a decision. I will not let fear control me. When I speak English, I may make mistakes. I may say the wrong word. People may laugh, but that is okay. Every mistake is practice. Every mistake makes me stronger. Now, when I remember that day, I smile instead of feeling embarrassed. It was a small moment, but it helped me become braver. Now it's your turn. Listen again. Pause after each sentence. Repeat out loud. Copy the pronunciation and feeling. Practice every day, even for 10 minutes. If this story helped you, please like the video, subscribe to Easy English StoryLab, write a comment, and share this video with someone who is learning English. See you in the next story. Bye!